Hello, this is Johnny Liu. This is the second part of demonstrating and what kind of hardware you need to set up the Data East cabinet so that it will work with 2 to 3 joystick. Now, what I recommend is getting this adapter, which is the right angle shape of the. Is actually you're gonna look for right angle with a OTG, or another term is called micro USB. And once you put that in, you are able to screw the screw back on, because the micro USB is so in the back, is in the front of this board, and this board is actually also plugged into the screen. So this is like a one board that support both the video and everything. So it's like similar to Raspberry Pi. And so you want to get an L-shaped cable like that, and then let me get closer, and you plug it into here. Then down here, what I did is, if I don't use a controller, more than one controller, and after everything is configured, then you could just plug the flash drive right here directly. And the flash drive that I recommend is get one that is a USB 3.0. And the one I have right now on the description is the Sandisk from Amazon. And this dangle that I got is also from Amazon. And it allows you to plug 3 USB. You have 3 USB female. 1, 2, 3. And I have 2 controls plug in, and the flash drive, which is 128 gigabyte, plug into it. And this is for the power. Now this one will not need any power, because you're gonna plug the power in the back of the cabinet right there, so you don't need to plug the power into this. Now you do have to switch this from charger to the bottom, which is OTG, otherwise it will not work. It will act like it's a charger if you push it up. So make sure you push it down. Okay, now this one have a ODG connection, male, but this connection you gotta buy extra connection, so you don't have to keep on unplug the white cable and then plug this back in every time, back and forward. So what I did is I bought a male connector. See if I can pull it out with one hand. A male connection, and then an OD female connection. So that way I could plug this adapter to it. Now, for some reason, if you use this adapter and you plug the computer cable into it, for some reason will not recognize. So you will have to use the direct cable from USB to OTG connection. So I just noticed that for some reason it will not work. Computer will not recognize it. I mean, the program will not run, so it will not install correctly. So those are the hardware setup, and then I'll show you how to now when you pull this open, be careful. You have the voice controller for controlling the voice that is screwed in. It's attached to a little card right here, and then you have a speaker that is connected to the port over here. Now if you look at the port closely, right now these two are soldered into V1. I'm sorry, let me make you guys look upside down. V1 and V2, but there's another one at the bottom, say V1 and V2. So I wonder if you could put another speaker there. And then there's a grounded and and OT. If I could zoom this way. Is that OT? Is it HO below the on top of the grounded? Can you see very well? MOTOR. I'm not sure what that is. So maybe you could plug in a power and then make the arcade display the screen in the front, and maybe cut this off and put a clear plastic instead of the black plastic, and then you could connect a power from here to here, so you have a light display, so your cabinet will have light in front of it. That'll be kind of cool. Let me see if I have any of this little one have light in front of it. See that this one have light in front of it? This little cabinet that I have. See, it's cool. I bought all of them, and I just pretty much just look at it. I don't really play it. It's more for look. And same with this one. But this don't have light. See, the bigger one don't, but the small one does. And it's pretty cool. So it's kind of nice if you could put a light in front of this. I mean, this is just a paper, so if you cut the back and put another plastic clear one and tape this back on the clear one, then you could put a light in the back and then it will shine. Okay, let me turn off this light. That's enough light showing. And so this one, I bought it from Amazon, the dangle that I was telling you about. And so it allows you to plug power, mouse, flash drive, and a keyboard. So when I first configure it, I use all three of this. I don't use this one. And when I try to plug something else on it, it doesn't work. It's only for power only. It's same thing with this adapter that I bought. It's the same. It only plug flash drive, and then it give it power. So this one would be good for Nintendo, Super Nintendo Classic. Those the one that I have that I want to play with that later on, which I already did, but then they came out with a new hack cheat, and now you can put a flash drive. So that's the reason I bought this and this dangle for that purpose. I'm not sure which one will work with the flash drive, so I bought both of them. But turned out I'm using this one for this machine, and it worked very well, very nicely. And so I recommend to get this one because it will work with this machine. And also you have to get this kind of joystick. Now if you try to use the Xbox controller, it will not work. Even though Xbox have a D and a stick like the Super Nintendo 64, so you can play all the Super Nintendo game. But the problem is this one don't have two controller, direction pad, so you cannot play all the Nintendo 64. Only some that doesn't require the middle joystick, only this one, then you're okay. But if you have one that require both the D-pad and the joystick in the middle, like the Nintendo 64, that game will not work. Like South Park, somebody was asking me about that game. Can I play that game? You won't be able to play that game. Okay, and so let's hook it back on and turn the power on. Now, when you're configuring the setup, once you configure the setup, you do not want to unplug this and then plug it back into this one, the main one over here. If you're going to configure the controller, you want to plug into this, and don't use a mouse. Just get everything you need set up with a mouse, set it up. Then once you configure the controller, plug that directly to this. For some reason, some address changed or something, and your setup will be lost. If you plug it like that and then set it up and then go back, you might lose your setup. So I recommend once you're ready to set it up, unplug this and plug it in. If you're not going to use more than one controller. If you're going to use more than one controller, then set this up with this, and I recommend drill some hole in the back and put either super glue or hot glue, and have this thing where you could see it in the back, and then you could plug your joystick. So if you don't want to play 2-player or 3-player, you could I'm sorry, if you don't want to play if you only want to play 1-player or 2-player, then you could plug the joystick in, and then you could also have the USB in the back plug in. So if you want to use a mouse, you can plug the mouse in, and if you don't want to use this, you can unplug this and upgrade your software without having to keep on opening this up all the time. So I have bought a second one, and that's what I'm planning to do with one of them. One of them, I'm just going to have I'm going to use this Bluetooth reader, and then use a MicroSD, and this one is a 128 SD card, and I'm just going to plug this directly into that white cable right there. For my other setup, I'm going to plug it directly here, and then just close it and do it like that. And the second one, I want to play 2-player, so I want to cut 1, 2, 3, 4 hole, so that, and then super glue it to the back of this cabinet. Then I could plug in the joystick anytime I want, like the NeoGeo cabinet that I pre-ordered. So I'm waiting for that to come, and also we pre-order the NT Super Nintendo cartridge player, which is supposed to be a good one, but that one won't come in until September as well. So I got two things that I ordered that won't be coming in until September. So I have to wait another 2 months. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna put this on the stand, and we're gonna talk about how we configure the joystick and why does MAME for all does not work, but MAME for joy it work. And MAME for joy, if we allow the ROM more than MAME for all. So if you have a choice between one or the other, I'd rather choose both of them. I have both of them because MAME for all able to play some of the emulator better, some of the ROM game better than the MAME for joy. But MAME for joy will allow you to put a lot of game, even if it doesn't support it, you will still see it, and you have an option to remove it, delete it. So I like MAME for joy. Joy spelled DROID, I believe. Okay, so got all this plug-in. Now also one more thing that I need to tell you guys, if you are doing this, one is I'm not responsible for the system messed up, so you're doing this on your own risk, okay? And to me, I think, hey, you know, if I could get this to work with more than 34 games, hey, it's worth the risk. So I feel like it's cool, you know, because I opened this so many times that I haven't seen, but that I do run into some problem that I want to bring it up to your attention, is that do not shut the system down while your emulator is running, because you will lose your joystick configuration. So if you put all the screw back on and you close it, and you're middle of your playing game, please exit out, click back, exit out the emulator till you see the Windows screen, then power off. That way your game will not messed up. If you turn it off while you're playing the game, it will either crash your game, where your game is not playable anymore. Actually crashed my music video. I had to recopy the music over again for it to play, because you'll play halfway and die. That happened to my music. The game, I haven't seen that happen, but I do see that the configuration, the controller that you control for this joystick, it doesn't work no more. And then you have to reconfigure it. So that's kind of pain in the neck. Most of the controller, you could configure it without the mouse plug-in, except Nintendo 64. Because Nintendo 64, you cannot scroll all the way down to the screen until you, unless you plug in the mouse. And to configure the controller, you have to plug in the mouse to click on the mapping. You know, you won't be able to select the one you want you know, like you do with the rest of the emulator. You press Y, then you choose the stick, press Y, choose the button, press Y, choose, you know. It lets you do that in all the emulator that we install on this system. The Nintendo 64 doesn't give you the option. You have to use the mouse to select the button you want, then press the button. Select, press the button. Select, press the button, you know, to map it with the screen. Alright, so let me make sure, oops, sorry, I kicked the stand. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead make sure I got everything plugged in right before, because if you do any kind of changes or you change anything, when you turn it back on and if it doesn't see it, and you start emulator, your configuration of the controller will be lost. So you make sure everything's plugged in the way you have it, and you know the flash drive is still in the same location you plug in case the address or something change, and that will mess up your setup as well. So you want to plug in the same place that you have it before and after you start emulator. Now again, let me emphasize this. I got this from Amazon. You have to buy a Retro Freak controller. It does work on this device. Now I have seen a Japanese person demonstrating with the NeoGeo Mini using NeoGeo Xbox, which X controller, which I have, is also USB. It's for the NeoGeo X handheld, and that one is pretty cool. That one has been hacked, and you could play any game, PlayStation 1, anything except I think you could play. I'm not sure you could play Nintendo 64, but I know you could play with MAME, all the PlayStation 1, Capcom 1, Capcom 2, Game Boy Advance, and all the NeoGeo. I think I got all 180 of them working on that NeoGeo X. But that format, you had to convert it into a different format. I think you had to convert it to the NVS, M as in Mary, V as in Victor, and S as in Sam. Okay, so you have to change the format from zip and convert it to NMVS. Okay, but anyway, going back to this one. So the reason I mentioned NeoGeo is that if you want to make NeoGeo controller 1 and controller 2 to work, this might able to help you. This might work because it work on this machine, so it might work on a NeoGeo. Because I can't believe it, the NeoGeo controller, 2 of them, it costs more than what I purchased on the NeoGeo. NeoGeo right now eBay is selling for $178, and I bought it during the time where it was giving $25 off, $25 money off, so I paid $155, you know, plus shipping tax, and it's included. So I paid $155 for NeoGeo, but then the controller is like listed for $78 or something, $74, and with shipping $9 something, I was paying like 80, I think total $84 some cents per joystick, and 2 of them is like $169 something. So I'm paying equivalent 3 of this system. So I was debating whether to get the controller or not, but then I like the idea that I got the awesome classic silver NeoGeo. So I bought the joystick, the black and white. They sell it as black and white. I wanted to get white and white, but they sell the black and white. And just let you know, they all use a C connection. So you have to get a C adapter if you wanted to convert the USB to a C button, and I have that when I bought that wireless 8-bit controller. Anyway, we're off the subject. Let's go back to this one. It's going to take a long time to configure. All right. Now, I want to go ahead and go to the main to show you why it's easier if you take my word for it, but if not, you could just look at it and see what I'm talking about. this controller, for some reason, one section, I think the D-pad and the button, they're all in control 1. And then here, as in controller 2. And the reason I know is because when I try to configure it, when you press a button, it tells you what each button is. And plus, the label did not match the physical system. Meaning that and when you press A, it doesn't show A, it shows Y, and then you press B, it shows X, and X, vice versa. And so only thing that actually is correct is the D controller, the coin, the back, and the start button is actually correct when you select it. But when you select this button here, it doesn't match with what is labeled here. So yeah, it's a pain. And I don't know why they did it that way when they set this chips up, but I don't know, maybe they did it on purpose, thinking that somebody will know that they use an Android and modify it. We did not really hack this. Hacking is actually taking something illegally and make it happen. You could call it hacking, but it's really not hacking. It's just open up the system, plug a micro USB into it, and use a mouse and tell it that I do not want to boot from Data Ease launcher. I want to install a Nova launcher. And once you install Nova launcher, you just add the icon, install the emulator, and that's all we did. We did not really do anything like install special software to hack it or run some special program to make this work. Only thing we did is say, hey, this is like a handheld Android. The handheld. I have an Android handheld game. I don't want to launch this emulator. I want from this launcher. I want to launch one from a different one. I bought 2 of the game system that I actually changed the launcher. I didn't like the big little icon and taking up the whole screen. I wanted to use my own. So that's all we do is we install a different screen launcher, and then we added the wallpaper, the live wallpaper. Okay, so going to this emulator to let you know, well, no, let's go to this one, because this is the one that make me realize that the controller, that these 2 are split into 2 controller. The other one, what happened is when I configure the MAME for all, that one, whenever I set up the D controller, it lost the D controller for player 1, but everything else it kept the same. And then when I configure the D controller, put the D controller back, it lost the controller D here. So that means when I start the game for player 1, player 2, this is the last thing I did was configure the D controller. So the D controller, delete the D controller here, because for some reason they are using, because this one is using like 1 controller and 2 controller, and this one, if you set it up, is real nice because it recognizes the whole thing as 1 controller. So if you go to Super Nintendo and you select the multi player and you say do auto detect, it automatically detects this, and you don't have to configure the button or anything. And with this one, when you select auto detect, you still have to configure the button because the button is not there, because the way they have the button configured is using another controller address. It's not using the controller 1. So that's what makes this system hard to figure out why it does not work with the second controller. So to make this happen, what I did is I went and configured this controller to play with this configuration, and I press Y again, and then I will, like, if I choose up, let me demonstrate the setup. So to do this without the mouse, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom like I showed you, or you go to the left. Now it seems like since I put the mouse in and then I unplug it, now the system seems to messed up. So once you set something up, you don't want to go back and forth. So once I'm ready to put 3 controller on this system, Once I set it up, I cannot move this around or add mouse to it and then take it out, because then the setup is all messed up again, especially on the one that I open. The other one, if I don't open it, it will be fine, but the one that I doing this video demo, if I plug the mouse in and I take it out, then this thing is messed up. So, oh, I also took this the long search bar out. To do that, you will have to go to Nova setting. You click on this button, the home main button, and look for Nova setup. In there, they will have a desktop support. Desktop. Let's do MAME first. See if we can get this to work. Yeah, the controller is messed up. Okay, this one is still working, and this one is, I guess, is the, I set it up to be the controller 1. So it seems like this one is working. Let's see if we could scroll to the right to get to the very bottom. There you go. So we are at the very bottom of this screen. Okay. So we're gonna go to configuration. So that's good. I don't have to plug the mouse back in, because then we will be going in a circle. So see if I could get this to stop. Oh, I don't want to access out. Nope. Still having a problem. Okay, let's shut this off. Turn it back on. Let's try troubleshoot together, and so that if you have the same problem I'm having, you will know what to do to fix this. So I'm trying to prevent from plugging the mouse, because I want to able to use the joystick, and I want to able to show people that once you close the cabinet back together, I don't think anybody want to keep on opening up the cabinet. Then once they shut it up with the screw, they want to leave it shut. But then at the same time, if your controller messed up, how you fix it? So we're gonna fix it with the controller. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna unplug the mouse, I mean the controller, external controller, and then I'm gonna plug it back in. I also noticed that kind of helped to fix it. So let me move this back a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna unplug the first one, and then I'm gonna unplug the second one. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the video game. Okay, and let's see if we could plug the first player back on, and then second player back on. And let's get out here again, and let's go ahead and start. Okay, so it's back to where we first start off with. I went to the wrong direction, went up instead of down. Okay. So the main button that do the select is not set up. on any of my controller. So I have no choice but to plug the mouse back in. So once I plug the mouse back in and I go into setting, I'm gonna unplug it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and unplug this, and I lost all the setup, so I have to able to get into the configuration, and I can't do it without the mouse. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the screen closer. So I'm gonna use the mouse right now. There's a mouse. Once you plug in, automatically recognize it. I'm gonna go to the configuration now. I'm gonna go to setting. Okay, here you're gonna look for input. Can you see that? Input. Look like it's doing good. It's able to see it. Then I'm gonna go to external controller. Okay. Then you say define the key. We're gonna set up the first player. For some reason, first player is messed up. Okay. Now, since I got the mouse, I got the things I wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the mouse. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this mouse. And then I'm gonna plug my joystick back in. So I could configure, see, I'm plugging the mouse. I'm taking the mouse out, plugging the controller in. Alright. So let me separate my wire so I know which one is controller 1, which one is controller 2 and 3. So that way I won't get so confused which one is which. Give me 1 second. This wire is very long, which is good, so you can sit far away from the TV. Alright, so I got them separated. Okay. So move the screen closer again. Alright. So my mouse doesn't work no more, so I have to use my button. So I'm going to select the up button for joystick 1. Okay, so I'm going to press the Y, and I'm going to click the joystick up. Okay, I'm setting up, might be too close, I'm setting up this button right now. Okay, I'm going down, I'm going to select down, press Y first to activate the change. Then you say press down, press the button down, which is the button down. So you go back to the top again. Then you're gonna do it again with the Y. Click Y first, then press left on the joystick. Then do the right button, press Y, press the right controller, and then the A button, press Y, and press A button. I'm going to go ahead and stay with this because I got used to using this button, and then when I change it, I got confused what is what. So I'm going to stick with the A here. And then B, press Y and choose the B. And then press Y, choose the X as a C. And then press Y and choose the Y as a D. Okay. So you have X, Y, X, B, and A. Like I say, those buttons, you notice that those are saying controller 3. So it depends how this was plugged in. Now this controller that I got from Amazon, the new one, the used one I bought from Amazon, this is controller 1. Okay. Then this one that came with the Retro Freak, this is the new one, which is come with the system. This is controller 2. This controller is actually 3. Okay, so it turned out it's not the primary, so that's why I couldn't control it for some stupid reason. So anyway, this one is, if you could see, let me bring it closer again. This is how I know that this joystick, this system is using 2 different addresses. The D-pad is using all 3. The first character A is using controller 4, and then drop back down to 3 again, and then 4 and 4. So you have an X button that is correct, but the other button is all a different controller. That's why the other main folders won't work correctly, because it's confused. Oh, and to make it worse, I didn't do the select button yet. So let me do the select and start, because right now it's pointing to the wrong thing too. So press Y, press select. Okay, select is now button 3. Then press, so this one automatically changed from 2 to 3. It seemed like all 3, because a while ago this was 2, all 2. Now when I change one of them, it know that this is the same family. It changed all to 3. But let's just make sure. Let's just press Y again, and this one is the start button. Oops, sorry, you can't see what I'm pressing. So press start button right here, and go back down, and then there's the back button, which is the exit out of the program. So I'm going to press the middle button, which is the back, but I'm going to press Y to activate it, and then assign the middle button, which is the back, to the back button. Oh wow, see the back, I'm glad I can reconfigure it. The star and the X's are actually controller 4, and the coin is 3, and so it's kind of split, randomly split. Well, it's not randomly. This is always going to be 4, except that one, and then this select is going to be 3, and then the rest is 4. So that's why when you are configuring other emulator, it doesn't know, it keep on going back and forth, it won't save. And that's the reason you have to do it so many times to finally for the system to save it. Because all the emulator, if you just do auto detect, it automatically recognize your controller. You didn't have to you don't have to do this. But because this joystick is configured, some of it with control 3 address, some of it is in control 4 address. Now, if you don't have the other controller plug in, it's going to take the controller, like I was showing, controller 1 and 2 address, and then 3 and 4 for the other controller. But since I boot up with all of them plug in 3 controller, it automatically choose 1 controller and 2, and then this one it choose the last controller, which is 3, but you need another address, so 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 are together with this one. Okay, so let's go to do another controller. Let's click back, and this is, I will show you what I'm talking about. So this is, so actually this is actually the controller 4. So actually I should have configured this using the player 3 and 4, because this is actually player 3 and 4, and technically, because this is not really a player 1 option, but I want to use it as a player 1, so yeah, I do need to set it up that way. Okay, player 2, I'm going to press Y to get in. Okay, so the first player is this one, but now I'm going to configure it as a second player joystick. So I'm going to press Y, and I'm going to press up. Okay, so as you can see, this is now using the address number 2. Okay, this joystick is using 3 and 4, so this one's using 2, but you're going to see this one don't have the problem. Everything is going to be the same number 2. Okay, 2 in front of it. 2 D-pad up, it's going to be change this to a D. 2 D-pad down. Go press Y, press down, go down, left. So press Y, left, go down, press Y, and then this is the right button. Okay, when I say Y, I'm talking about this controller here. You have to use the Y button here. But now since I haven't configured the rest of the button, so I won't work with this button. I mean, I'm using this to move down because the D-pad apparently don't have that problem. Okay, press. Okay, so right now I could still press X to instead of the Y on the system. And what button is that? That's the A button. So I'm gonna press A. Go next one. Press Y and choose B button. Press Y, choose C button. Press Y, choose Y button. I mean D button. Okay. So, and then this one had E and F. So my E will be the left one. So I'm gonna go E. Okay. Like I'm press the X, and I'm gonna press L1 for the E. Then I'm gonna do the F. Press X here, and press the R1. And then I'm gonna do the coin. See, you notice you notice that it's changing right now. It's changing from 2 to, I mean, before it was 1, now it's changing 2 because I'm changing the joystick. The coin, I'm going to press the X, and then the coin is going to be the select button here. Okay, and then continue. There's a start button. Press X. Start button right here. Press start, and then go down to X out. So X out, I'm going to choose to activate it first, and then assign home button for X out again. And then my option, which this one does have option, so it use up all the key on this for MAME. So this will be a good joystick for MAME emulator. So now option, activate it to change, and then choose the option button. Okay, so MAME is all configured. If you go all the way down, there's no more option left. X's, and then once I press down again, it's gonna go up to the top. No, it doesn't. So that's it. That's the last one. All right, so that's done. So to get out, you could click home on this button to take you back. Home is actually activate the option again. Okay, press option. Okay, so I have to use this joystick. Push it back to back button to go back to the. So we configure joystick 1, player 2. Now we have player 3. So we're going to configure the player 3. Press Y to start player 3. Okay. Right now player 3 is configured incorrectly because it's using because I boot up the system, and now the system's recognize the different setup. So we're going to fix the setup so that all joystick will work again. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and press the Y. We're going to move this one up. So you notice that this now is a player 1 joystick because you say the address is starting with 1. It's no longer 4, which is when I first configured it. So that's why when we boot it up, it didn't work because when I boot up the emulator, if you have something plugged differently, it changed all the address. So that's why I recommend once you plug it in, leave it plugged in. Don't change it all the time. That will mess up the setup. Okay, and if you plug the joystick in, make sure you plug in the same slot, same location. You know, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, so you won't get all that messed up. So I'm gonna go down, down, and left, left, right, right, A, B, B, C, press Y. C is going to be the next alphabet. C, D, D will be Y. Then E, press Y to change activate the change. L1. F, R1. That's it. That's all the button. And then coin, select, star, star, X is out, will be the home key. And option, the last one, and I now say number 4. See, all this is 1. Option will be option. Alright, it's done. So I got all 3 joystick configured. So now that's how you configure for the MAME. And you click back, back, back. Now you could play your game. Now depending on the game, some game it will let you have 2 player. Like if this X-Men is 4 player, each character is dedicated. If like for example, like the Ninja Turtle Raphael is assigned to first player or vice versa, and you know, different character assigned to, you cannot choose a different character unless you start a game using that joystick. So oh, that joystick, if you go to arcade, you will see like Ninja Turtle, they have the character written on the underneath the picture of the joystick. So if you pick joystick 1, that's the character you're going to be using when you start the game. You pick joystick 2, that'll be the character assigned to joystick 2. So if you see the picture, oh, this is the Raphael, I want to use the joystick 2 to play Raphael. You don't want to use joystick 3 and try to choose joystick 2. It won't let you do it because it assigned the character to each joystick number. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And then if you play the Ninja Turtle with like option where it's a 2 player, that one let you choose. I think that one is more like a modified version of it. That's the one you could actually play different character. So let's see if I could just go and play one of the King of Fighter. I haven't. Okay, here's some of the King of Fighter I already tested out that work. So let's see if we could play 2 player on this King of Fighter. I like the King of Fighter 98. The music is pretty cool. I haven't tested this though. Let's try this, see if it works. Is that better? Okay, then whenever the game starts, you always want to move, well, since this is not the first controller is set up to this one because this joystick is actually 3 and 4 when we were configuring. So this is going to be moving around circle. Or maybe I have a problem with this this emulator because I haven't tested this emulator. And low, very slow. So whenever something low, very slow, more likely there's a problem with it. I don't know because I have this thing plugged in. I keep on moving back and forward. I don't know if something got loose. I hope not. Great. It froze up. So yeah, you want to test it, make sure it works. If it doesn't work, delete it. Because I haven't got a chance to test all my emulator, all the game. It is too much gaming in one system. 128 gigabyte is just too much overkill. But I just need to sit down and spend the time one by one, see which one works, which one doesn't work, and then delete it. And I've been doing that, but I have not got a chance to finish all that yet. I went and helped my friend build a cabinet for him for free. Co-workers say, "Oh man, that looks so cool. Can I buy the equipment?" If you want to buy this right now, it's still $55 some cents, so roughly 56, and you could get it from eBay. Some of them price already went up to $100. So yeah, you need to get it while it is still cheap, because once you get the price go up, because once NeoGeo come out, people are gonna say, hey, this is cheap and I could play NeoGeo, can I use this? Okay, so anyway, let's just demonstrate one game and then we're gonna move to the next one, because the next one is the one that is easy to configure, but you still have to configure it so you can play 2 player. So well, let's just try Ninja Turtle, because Ninja Turtle 2 player, we haven't tried that yet. So let's try that. Okay. Now the 2 player one, you get to choose you want to play with one controller, two controller, or three controller. So I'm gonna press select and select. So that put the coin there. In this game, you put 2 quarters for some reason, because it costs not much to play this game. Oop, this one doesn't want to start. 2 player, I guess it will not use the, because that one is assigned. Let's see if we could choose this one. Okay, so it let me choose this one as a player 1 and player 2. So it won't let me go to the joystick, because this is only a 2-player game. Alright, so I'm gonna press start. Now in this 2-player version, I could choose the character I want, not that the other one is assigned to the, so I'm gonna use this one and press start. And then I'm gonna choose this character. Alright, there's my character. Now if I'm moving it, and I'm going to move different one, because I have a control joystick 1 to also be able to play with another joystick. So that's why, I can use a hand-free joystick to play instead of, so that's why they are moving together at the same time. But once you start moving this one, the other one will release the functionality to the the other joystick. Okay. So let me demonstrate let me go back and demonstrate the 4-player using the 2 different controller without using this one. The 4-player Ninja Turtle in time. I think that's the one I tried last time. So if you like a game, you could press the button and then press add it to a flavor, and then it will change to green color. So now this one will be green. Then oh, that game I already tested, it worked, and then you could continue using that. And then you can also set it in MAME that only display the one you say the flavor. Don't display the other one. You don't want to play those. So you don't display the one you like to play, not the whole junk that you put in the flash drive. Not junk, but all the ROM. Okay, so press. Pretty cool graphic, real good graphic. Press select. So this one is using the, what's his name? Donatello, I think. Oh no, I don't remember the character anymore. The name. I haven't played for a long time. Now I'm gonna press the select button here. So it's using Donatello, and I think that's what we are using Lam Chop. Okay, so now I'm using this 2-player, and I don't want to use the so I'm gonna sit far away and sit beside my own seat without having to sit in front of that screen. And so I'm playing the game with 2 handheld instead of the So one is jumping and one is punching. Okay, see. So I'm pressing A to hit, and this is the other one with the lump charge jumping. So yeah, you're controlling the both joystick. Oops, because I'm not moving, they throw a bomb at me. Alright. So one moving back, one moving forward, as you can see. Now I'm going to try to punch. So I can play 1 player. I guess this one need to come help him. Oops.
Oh, shell shock.
Guess I press start again. Okay, so that's how you get it to work. So we got that configured, and now you guys know how to set up 2 controllers for this machine, for this emulator. Now, how do you get the Nintendo Super Nintendo, or let's try NeoGeo. Well, let's go ahead and do Super Nintendo. Everybody loves Super Nintendo. So we're gonna go and go to setup. So the setup, you have to go, let me bring this the game forward. Okay, so you got an option. Option is the one that changes the screen to a full screen stretch, and that's how you stretch the screen. So you go to video and you go to where it say aspect right there. Okay, well now I have it set to full screen, so that means my previous setup is working. If my previous setup is not working, it will default back to 4.3. So let me show you. See, 4.3 is the original option default, but I have it at full screen. I like full screen. Sorry, I don't care what people say about full screen. I love the full screen. I grew up with full screen. I like the full screen. Since I'm purchased, this screen is already small enough. I don't want the screen to be small. The game to be smaller than what is there. Okay, so then when you're in the video option, so I'm gonna click back. So let me move this back a little bit. Well, yeah. So click back, and now I'm back into the main screen. So that's how you know where you at. Don't get confused. If you're in this screen and you press back, you're gonna get out of the game. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So you go here. Okay, well I'll go with an option in the video. Now we're going to key setting input. So we're gonna press the Y button. Now it's going to auto detect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just press press Y, and now it say press a key on any input device, enter the configuration menu. So press any key. Now this one is set up to be customer 1. Okay, and I wanted to play multiplayer. So right now it's choose as a multiplayer. If you don't put as a multiplayer, you won't be able to see joystick 1, joystick 2, and joystick 3, okay, or 4, or more. This one seems to have 5 joysticks. But if you choose as a player 1, for example, then you only going to be playing player 1. So let's select that for now, just to show you. So if you say player 1, right now I say player 1, you're only going to have one keyboard that you need to set up. Okay. Now, if I use player 2, multiplayer, I mean I'm going to have more than one joystick plug in. So pick multiplayer, press Y. Now it's multiplayer. Now the other joystick 2 and 3, you don't have to configure it because this thing will automatically configure for you. Supposedly. Okay, let me go back and I'm going to do auto detect, and this time I'm going to choose my joystick to do auto detect. Okay, and this it recognizes as a player 2, and then I'm going to go and change that to multiplayer. Okay, and let's see joystick number 2. Let's see what it says. Okay, it's not configured yet. Ooh. No, I just did something I don't want to do. Okay, so the joystick 2 is not configured. That's fine. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and configure joystick 2. Press the Y, press up, press Y, press right button, and Y for down, and for Y for left, and you skip that, skip, select, press Y, select. Alright, G7, and then press Y and choose the star button, star for start. Then choose A, press Y. So A button is here, A, and let's go down, press Y, And B button will be B right here. And scroll down, press Y. And X button will be X here. And press Y. Y button will be Y here. Okay. The L1, press Y. L1 will be here, left. And R, press Y. It will be R1. And then turbo speed, you don't have any turbo speed, you don't have to worry about. And that's it for those options. Let's see. If you want to program the turbo speed, you still have two buttons. You got the option button that you can make it to a turbo if you choose to. Alright, so that's done for joystick 2. So I'm going to click back. Then you go to joystick 3. So I'm going to press the Y button. Most of the Nintendo game doesn't have, I don't know, I don't think Super Nintendo have modem. Maybe it does. Okay, let's see. And I normally play the game by myself and with a second player, never more than 2. So I don't really remember. Okay, press Y. Up. Let's do this. Okay, does not like the button for joystick 3. Okay, press Y. So it went to customize 3. I want to stay with the customize 1 because I don't want to change the thing. I wonder if this one is configured, the main joystick. Select star A B. I don't think this is configured right. I think this is configured with this joystick because it's recognized this as a first joystick. So I think that's the reason I can't configure this one. So let me get back up here and choose the joystick again. So the joystick is going to be this one. So up. Yeah, I don't know. Press up. Okay, do it again. Multiplayer. Okay, the joystick. Up is up. See what I did? I let it disappear and then I choose up again and then I come back. Okay, that's the only way the best way. I know the last time I told you about NeoGeo, you click the left arrow. Don't do that. That will take a long time, longer than what I'm about to show you. So when you click Y, move this back, Y, then you can say right. So press the right. See, now everything is working. Press Y down. Press Y left. Okay. So let's see if we run into a problem. I'll show you. You want to do. You don't want to do. I'm going to show you. Okay. Here it says select. Press Y. Select. Okay. Took it. Press Y. Star. Okay. See the button it changed because this controller, this cabinet control use two address of the controller. I wait till that thing disappears instead of pressing left like I last time showed you on the NeoGeo setup. Just wait till it disappears and then press. This one say once you press start, so press start. Okay. Make sure you're still on multiplayer. Make sure it's still on customer 1. If it's not, change it to back to customer 1 multiplayer. Then go back to your setup for joystick 3. So press Y. Okay, everything's still there. Last time start doesn't work. So if you press, you wait till it disappear, press start. This time when you press start, more likely it will work. The other way I show you, it keep on repeating loop. It doesn't work. So this one, if you wait till it disappear, press start, then come back. Now you press start. I mean Y, press start. It will work. Okay, majority of the 99% of the time. Okay, I can't say 100% because I don't build this, so I don't know is it going to be 100% of the time. But so far, this is what I figured out. So hopefully this will help. Now A, you're going to press Y, A button, Y, B button. So you get that error. Wait till it disappears. Don't press the left button because that's what they suggested. press, just leave it there. It said B, just press B again. Okay, gonna take you back here. Make sure it's multiplayer. Make sure it's customer 1, and then you're gonna go back to the configuration you're doing. Press Y again to go in, and then go to where the last thing you did was the B. Now, like I say, it will work on the B now. So press B. See that? All right. So far, that worked for me. Hopefully that will help. Okay. Now press Y. Look for your X. See, it doesn't work. Wait. Don't press the left, right, nothing. Just let it sit till that screen disappear. Then you're gonna press X. Okay. Then go back here, and this time it will work. Press Y. Go down where the X is messed up. Star A B X. So press Y again, and this time the X will work. X. See that? Then press Y. Press Y. And that should be it. You don't have an L1 for this controller, or you don't have R1, L1 or R1. So don't worry about those. Just click back, 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 and back. Oh shoot, I got all the way out. And that happened. So now I'm gonna load a game. So I'm gonna find a game. Final Fight only a 1-player game. So Final Fight 2 you could play 2-player. I want to see if Ninja Turtle will let me play more than 1 player on the Super Nintendo. I don't know. I never tried. So let's try it. Ninja Turtle in Time. Press Y. Okay, game is starting. But that's how you configure for Super Nintendo, Nintendo, PCE, MD, which is the Sega Genesis, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Color. They use the same emulator. They will run Game Boy Color and Game Boy. Okay, so it only have 2-player. Sorry, 2-player option. I want to see if I could. Let's press select. Start. Not this one, because that's the 3rd-player joystick. This one is actually recognize a 1st player. Nope. Alright, let's press this one. Select. 2-player. Start. So you get to choose different characters. Okay. 2nd player. This is the 2nd player. This one, I don't think this one do. Oh, this one control too. Okay, well let's try this one, and let's try this one. Nope. So actually, this one, the controller works, but the button doesn't work. So this is the one that works. So this one with the tie thing, this one work, and that one work. If you don't have more than 1 joystick plug-in, you won't have this confusing like me. I don't know which one is which one is actually working, which one is not. Alright, so this is the D-pad, and this is. See, some reason the address is very similar, so the D-pad is moving both of them, but when I press jump, only one of them moving. So let's see if I move the D-pad on this one. No, okay, still good. I want to see if one move forward, one move backward. This one move backward. So yeah, you could. This is not. It's not affecting it. Okay. Oop! I just pressed start. Pause the game. Alright, so the Super Nintendo work with 2 joysticks as well. Okay, so let's get back. I don't want to exit out the game. I mean, I want to exit out the game, but not the system. I want to see if I could play see if I could play the, well, this one doesn't have, let's try more compact. I want to see if you could fight each other. Okay, so 2-player. So it worked. Very close. Graphics is very good. So yeah, it does work with 2 controllers, but it's weird is that the way the address is very similar. So when you move forward, the other one is moving back. So when you move forward, okay. Oh, timeout. Game is over. I don't know whose sign is. They're the same name. Alright, so that is that. So let me get out game. Yes. Okay. And let's try NeoGeo. NeoGeo is the game right now. It's super hot, and now we want to make sure that both controller is set up. So we're gonna go to input device setup, and we're gonna choose auto detect. Press the handheld one. Okay, I'm going to choose Y. Okay, and choose multiplayer. And then let's see if a controller 1 is set up yet. Yeah, I set up. Let's see, nope, did not set up this one. So I'm gonna select the Y for coin. So this joystick is always the one having problem. So I'm gonna wait, press that again, go back to player 1, I want to do multiplayer. Okay, joystick 1, up and down, it's gonna be the same. Okay, select there, start. It's already configured for me already. Let's make sure. Okay, Y is A. Make sure it's also customer 1. Custom. I keep on saying customer. Custom, no ER. Custom 1. Multiplayer. Okay, I don't know. It looked like the keyboard is already the joystick is already configured. Start. select Y, X, B, A. Okay, and how about the other one? Nope, the other one is not configured. So let's try the other one. Let's see if this is the one that need to be configured. If not, then that means this is already configured with the joystick. Okay, up, no. So that means, what did I press the joystick? It's not supposed to be the joystick, it's supposed to be this one. Up. So let's go back, press B, up again. Alright, let's go down to joystick 2, press Y. Okay, press Y for up, and then press Y for right, press Y for down, press Y for left, and then skip that, and then press Y for select, and then press Y for start, press Y for A, press Y for B, press Y for C, will be the X, and press Y for D, and then I don't need no topo. Okay, that's it. Alright, press back. Alright, so joystick 2 is configured. I'm not going to configure joystick 3 because there's no 3 player on this game. I don't believe so. Oh shoot, it's on customer. I need to do customer 1, so I don't know joystick 2 is still there. Ah, really? Joystick 2 is not configured with customer 1. How about joystick? That one is configured. Alright, let's go back to joystick 2. Seriously, oh my goodness. Okay. Up. Right. Down. Left. Coin. Stop. It's not A. I pressed the one button. It's supposed to be Y. Supposed to press A instead. I pressed the other one. Okay. A and B. I'm using this. This one's always will give me that error message. This is the one I'm supposed to configure. Shoot. B. Joystick 2, yes. Alright, let's go back to joystick 2. Let's do it again. Yeah, why not? Let's do it again. Up, right, down, left, select, star, A, B, C, which is X, D is the Y, and that's it. Okay. So if you are configured, you will never have problem with this one. It does not. It is a smooth configuration. But with the one that comes with the arcade, that's the one that has split controller. You know, I want to emphasize that so you guys understand what's going on. That's why you have to keep on going back and forth to set up one button. All right. So that's joystick is done. I'm out of this screen. I'm in input screen. One more time. I'm a NeoGeo screen. So now I could load game or I could load reason game. Let's load reason game star. And let's see if 2-player will work on NeoGeo. Because NeoGeo is made for two player. You know, it's a good game. Majority is fighting. It's made for 2-player. trying to figure out which one is the special. Seems like once you look at the joystick, the buffer is still running. Okay, so yeah, NeoGeo work with 2 joystick, 2 player. Cool. Wow, 1, 3. Oh, it's 3 players here, 5, all 3 play people. Alright, so let's get out. Yes. So that's how you configure NeoGeo. So NeoGeo, Sega Genesis, Game Boy Color, which also Game Boy Color, PSE, which is Turbo, Game Boy Advance, they all have the same kind of setup. Nintendo 64 is the one you have to use the mouse to set this up. The PSP, it worked, but the sound is bad. Nintendo 64 sounds good, graphics bad. PlayStation, majority is good. And then you have music video, which I have set up too. So you watch music video and play your music at the same time. So, yep. So hopefully you like it and give me a thumb up. And if you have any question, please ask, and I'll try my best to answer your question. And let's play one of the music. Oh, the music video, if you press the down arrow, you get to choose the fast forward. Or you could, if you select more than one, you could skip music. Okay. Let's turn it way up. Alright, thank you for watching. Hopefully this will help. So I'll talk to you later.